Come in, come in. Alright. Welcome to the interview. Why do you look dumbfounded right now? You're expecting All Might. Well, surprise. All Might's sick. And I'm here. So, sit down. Good. Now, you probably thought this was going to be the easiest part of the exam. You were wrong. Arguably the hardest. If I don't want you here, if I decide, hey, maybe this hero school isn't for you, you won't be here. Gone. Just like that. UA realized something. That, the simple, regular testing regimen wasn't good enough. So they thought, hey, let's add an interview portion as well. Get a feel for what these kids really are. Because trust me, I've seen some hotheads that I've escorted out relatively quickly. We're looking for heroes. Someone that can support those who are terrified in the face of a villain. Not someone that's going to scream at them and tell them to stop being a weakling. Good? Okay. With that said, we're going to start with some simple questions. First off, I want you to tell me about yourself. Non-Quirk related. We'll get to that in a little bit. Good. Interesting. Okay. Interesting. Diverse amount of things you do. That's some good answers. Now, what are your personal strengths? Of course, not including your quirk. We'll speak about that in a second. Good. That's good to have in a hero. What about your weaknesses? We all have them. I do as well. I can even give you an example. I have a tendency of being too uptight, strict. I don't give my, heroes that work under me enough room off the leash sometimes. I'll be working on that. We all as heroes need to work on it. So, with that said, what is your weakness? Good. Something that we can work on. Alright. Now let's get to the quirk. What's your quirk? Got it. Now, I have to ask, what do you believe to be the highest strength of your quirk? I see. Very, very good. Now, you can probably guess what I'm gonna ask. Weakness. What is a weakness of your quirk? See, that's good that you know your weaknesses. Many of the kids that I've spoken to already believe that their quirks have no weakness. My quirk has a weakness, and I'm a pro hero. Top 3, in fact. You want to know my weakness? Well, since you asked so nicely, it's the fact that I can only use it once a day. And I can only see it as if I'm watching it in third person. I can see what you plan on doing for days, maybe even weeks. But the issue is, I can only see it in black and white, as if it's some simple film tape. There's a restriction, heavy restriction. I like you. Very intelligent. You like thinking outside the box, it seems. With that said, heroes need to know their downtime. What do you like to do for fun in your free time? Interesting. Trust me, even pro heroes like me need their free time. Of If we don't, we won't be able to save those who are in need. Makes it far more difficult. Do you understand why? Go on and explain. Good. Good. Now, outside of hero work, what other activities are you interested in? Extracurricular, of course. Maybe you're into support. Maybe you're into some of the general studies. Science, math, any of that? I see. Very interesting. As a hero school, we do have subjects, unfortunately. I know a lot of the people I've talked to so far were not very fond of the fact that you'll still be learning. Got it. Interesting. What do you find difficult? Anything at all. It could be a subject, it could be controlling your quirk, it could be anything in your mind you have currently. Got it. Got it. Trust me, we don't use any of this against you. If you feel that your quirk has a weakness, we're not going to use that against you by any means. What we're going to do is make sure we can cover that weakness. Change it so that you are trained to cover your own weaknesses. This will only make you stronger. And if you go to a different school because you don't get in, we'll be sending this information over there, giving them a heads up on how to make you more powerful. And maybe, just maybe, you'll be able to compete with the highest of us all when you get out of high school. You know what I'm saying? But if your grades are good, your test scores went well, and your practical exam went well, I don't see why not. I don't see why you wouldn't be getting in. Okay. I want to get a little bit more personal. Can you tell me a bit about your family life? Your family in general? I see. Understood. How do you deal with conflict? In your family, outside the family, anything? Yes. Okay. Dealing with conflict is a very important thing. Emotional, physical, anything you can think of. I've seen it all. I've seen kids deal with conflict perfectly, as if they were grown adults. But I've also seen the opposite. Kids deal with conflict as if they were 2-year-olds, not understanding when someone says no, it means no. It happens. Things people need to learn. Different paces, different reasonings, different stances. Good. Glad you understand this. If there's one thing you could change about UA, what would you change? Of course, you don't know too much, but I'm sure that you've heard and learned many things throughout the time of this process. There are many good hero schools. I hope you're keeping your options open. UA might be the quote-unquote best, but I can tell you, for a matter of fact, there are some many good, hero schools out there. Yes. Interesting. I like that. It's not necessarily you having to be negative, just being constructive. There's a big difference. Seems like you understand that difference heavily. Now, there's one question I like to ask before everyone leaves, because my time with you is wrapping up. How do you think the interview went? I see. Humility is one thing. Confidence is another. There's layers to all of it. Seems you understand that pretty well. I'll be seeing you, I'm sure, very soon. Maybe I need to do this more. With students like you, it makes me enjoy doing interviews. Alright. With that said, I hope to be seeing you in the line of hero work. Have an amazing day. See you later.